Let's talk politics and the impact of politics on economics with none other than Swami here, consulting editor with ET Now. Swami, good to have you back. Thank you for joining us. Swami, given the changing political dynamics, do you still believe that we could be headed for some early polls? Because now one is getting a sense that the regional parties and the Congress, they both are talking to each other.
There is definitely a risk of the government falling. No doubt about it. Having seen the way, they worked out this equation with Mayawati on this reservations for the SC/STs. So in some sense, Mayawati is on board. If Mayawati is on board for the full term, then they are safe. Because they have lost Mamta's 19, they gained 22 from Mayawati. I mean, that puts them once again in a majority. But they may still lose on some issues if Mayawati abstains or if the SP goes against. If they are going to get into a risk-taking mode, which I do believe, maybe they take a risk too much and they fall flat on their faces. That risk is there. I would simply say that after seeing what happened in the last week, the chances of a midterm poll have receded. They have managed to exploit the contradictions in the opposition very well. I think the chances of their lasting to 20 till full term has now improved in the last week.
Swami, we saw Mayawati and Mulayam Singh coming to the rescue of the government in the FDI vote, but do you think they are allies the government can bank on?
No, Mayawati is not the most reliable person in the world, nor is Mulayam Singh Yadav. So as I said, there are risks, there are uncertainties. And while in the last week you patched some kind of deals together, if some other opportunities arise that change those equations, I would not bank on Mayawati and Mulayam to save the government forever, not at all. So yes, the government could fall and it will probably be something completely unexpected, something that rocks the boat and that is not immediately visible.
Swami, the opposition also seems to be in a complete disarray. Why would they be pressing for early polls?
I don't know, because different people have different motivations. For instance, you have a situation where Mamta Banerjee was willing to go for an early poll, saying, you know, I won this big state election, the momentum is with me, the momentum will keep receding the more time flows. So an early poll would suit Mamta. But for that same reason, early poll will not suit the left front. The left front will definitely do better, they feel, in 2014 than in 2013. So even if the left front doesn't like the government, will it necessarily go for an early poll? We don't know. Again, Mulayam, wants to go for would have some advantages in an early poll because he did very well in the state election earlier this year. But for that same reason, Mayawati would like to put it off. She would like Mulayam to lose a little momentum. So it is unclear. But when you look at the totality, since the different opposition parties do not have a common aim, since they have different agendas, Congress should be able to exploit those. It has done so. And if Congress can exploit them, it will last a full term.
Right. So over the last few weeks, we've seen several BJP leaders, including Sushma Swaraj, express their support for Modi as a prime ministerial candidate. Do you think the BJP will take the risk of fielding Modi as PM candidate? And do they have a choice?
The country does not elect a prime minister. The country elects individual members of parliament on very, very local issues. What the outcome is going to be is very, very uncertain. To say Narendra Modi is my candidate for prime minister, does it make a difference to the voting intention of some voter in Delhi or in Madhya Pradesh? I am very far from clear that that is a kind of clinching issue. Elections, I have been around election campaigns. Elections are very, very local. At the end of it all, there's some Mr. Popat Lal is beating Mr. Totaram. And the combination of all these individual, very, very local elections, we try and interpret as being a national mood. And sometimes that's an artifice. That's not really how it works out. So I don't think the issue of whether Modi is going to be next prime minister or the other will sway the popular vote very much.
Swami, there's also a growing buzz in New Delhi that Finance Minister P. Chidambaram could be UPA's choice for the top job in 2014. Do you see that happening? Because if that happens, markets will cheer that. But the only contentious issue here is that Mr. Chidambaram is not a opinion gatherer?
The Congress is not in the habit of projecting a new leader in advance of the elections. It's not the kind of thing the party does. They will always say, we will see afterwards. So I don't think they will project Chidambaram as a replacement. On the other hand, suppose they are in a position to come to power after 2014, which I very much doubt. I don't think it's likely at all. But if they end up in that particular position, yes, Chidambaram may have a chance. I would think that Rahul Gandhi might, I mean, if they win next time, I would not be surprised if Rahul finally accepts the crown. Right now, they don't want to push it because they don't want to be in a situation of Rahul is pushed as the leader and then he loses and it looks terrible. But if they actually win the election, I think the chances of Rahul becoming Prime Minister would be very substantial.
That's